Okay, God's boundaries for sex. It's not a solo event, as in masturbation. I never used to be able to say these words comfortably, but now I just do, which is really weird. I don't know what's happened to me. But, you know, I think we've just learned to discuss the issues as they are and stop pretending like we can't talk about these hard issues, because it's going to affect, it probably is affecting half the marriages in this room. So I'm kind of over all that now. So anyway, it's not a solo event. And the reason why it's not a solo event is because a solo event usually involves lusting, wouldn't you say?
Yes, absolutely. In the book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 28, it says, I tell you that anyone who looks upon a woman lustfully has already committed adultery with her in his heart. Okay? I know that men take pictures in their mind over things that are lustful, not just sexually, but we're talking about that now. So it'd be other women, and in some cases men, all right? And I don't believe personally that a man can masturbate without thinking of another woman. I believe that is totally impossible. And so in turn, I believe that that is something that the Bible is explicit in a sense to me, and letting me know that that is not something I should be doing. It's not honoring God.
So the next point is that it's designed for a married couple. And there are so many verses that we could choose to illustrate that point, but we'll just go to Hebrews 13:4. It says, marriage should be honored by all, and the marriage bed kept pure, for God will judge the adulterer and all the sexually immoral. Okay, and another point here, it should be frequent enough so that neither spouse is sexually deprived. Do you want to read that verse?
Yes, 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 3 through 5. The husband should fulfill his marital duty to his wife, and likewise the wife to her husband. The wife does not have authority over her own body, but yields it to her husband. In the same way, the husband does not have authority over his own body, but yields it to his wife. Do not deprive each other except perhaps by mutual consent and for a time, so that you may devote yourselves to prayer. Then come together again so that Satan will not tempt you because of your lack of self-control. Avoid selfishness and seek to please your spouse.
Philippians 2, verse 4. Each of you should look not only to your own interests, but also to the interests of others. And again, so this is not about like scorekeeping, like, well, we haven't had sex as much as I would want, and you're winning, and you're getting it your way. And I mean, it's not about that. It's about looking to the other person's interest. And so he could be just looking out for his own interests and be all upset, like, how come she's not as available exactly how I want it all the time, And instead, he's taking a posture of, you know what, how can I serve my wife and consider her interests? And that is like, I mean, so invaluable for me. So I appreciate that so much.
And it isn't so much, I am one of many men that do the same thing. There are probably men in here that are exactly the same way with your wives, and praise God that you are. But that's what we're trying to encourage other men to say, hey, listen, man, first, I know that you're not going to die from lack of sex. It's just not going to happen. Your webbles are not going to fall off. Okay? It's not going to happen. Is it frustrating? Sure it is. But life is frustrating. Work can be frustrating. Children can be frustrating. Our churches can frustrate us. So much can frustrate us. And when that happens, what do? Do you go to the Lord? If you do, you're going to the right place. Did it work for those things? It'll work for this too.